Hi, I'm Quinn Redeker. Welcome to PoliceMotorTraining.com. It's a little windy today, so my apologies if it's a little shaky camera or it's a little buffeting in my mic. Let me move this thing down a little bit. One of the things I wanted to do today was walk you guys through one of the patterns that I've done a desktop on. So this is called the Crazyhorse. So I've done a desktop on this one, and I thought it would be kind of cool to walk you through the pattern as if we were going to ride it, and then of course I'll be riding it and demoing it and kind of talking you through what's going on in my head. So the Crazyhorse has some nice direction changes. It's got some tight sections, which is pretty cool about it. A circle over here, I forget the dimensions of it, maybe at 18, something like that. Nothing crazy. This isn't super, super tight, but obviously the faster you go, the harder things become. So the main thing is, let's talk about getting through this thing smoothly and fastly. Fastly, is that a word? Using some of the techniques that I employ when I do this. So we'll just walk through from the beginning. So this is the chute that you're coming in. We'll assume that this thing is just a standalone. Maybe you had other competition patterns, and they're just connected by you riding into the entrance. So we'll call this the entrance. I'm coming in here. So a few of the things that I'm thinking of. First of all, if you can pick up from the camera the direction that I'm moving, obviously I'm going to be making a right up here, okay? So, well, let's just show you quickly the Crazyhorse. So you're coming down this chute. You make a 90-degree right, full circle. You have a 90-degree right into a quick 90-degree left. And then from the 90-degree left, you're coming out here, and it's got a little chicane, and then you're back out. Okay? So, as I'm coming in here, I know I'm going to be making a 90-degree right. I'm aware of that. So, if you look at my path of travel, I'm pushing to this outside cone. I can get as close as I want to this, and it's really not going to matter because my bike is leaned over. And because it's leaned over, I'm not going to hit this with my saddlebags. This cone, however, is a dangerous cone. If I just come in here and crank this into a 90 right, I'm going to hit this cone right here all day long. So I need to be aware of that. But what's important is that I want you to start thinking about how you can connect sections and make it smooth. So yes, it's a straight into a 90 right, but how can we make this one smooth transition? So what I like to do is I'm going to come in nice and deep here, and as I point out on the tabletops, I'm going to start leaned over, and I'm going to start my turning movement back here, not up here where I actually need to make my 90-degree right. It's going to be somewhere over here. Why? Because it gives me more room to execute that turn. Nice and smooth. So I'm going to make a nice smooth right, but before I actually add lean angle, I'm setting up my clutch and throttle. Don't forget that. I'm going to be accelerating in here, and now I'm on the brakes. The only other job I have to worry about is what? Waiting for the turn to come up. So let's use that space to set up our clutch and throttle into that gray area, because I'm on the brakes here, okay? This is not a slow section. If you have a straightaway, we drag race these sections. Let's go fast, okay? So I'm coming in here, now I'm leaned over, I'm on the brakes, I'm essentially trail braking. The bike's nice and planted. I've got the front brake on, I got the back brake on, and I'm driving into this corner. Remember also, because we have brakes on coming into a turn, we're loading that suspension, we're putting weight on the front tire, we're effectively giving this thing a steeper steering angle, we're giving it better traction, and we're slowing the bike down. So it's pretty cool using those brakes, setting that up early, coming on in on the brakes, and then right in here we have the clutch throttle humming. The benefit of the clutch throttle is now when we're leaned over, we have power to the motor. We also make that bike move over quicker. When that clutch throttle is set up in the gray area, the bike just drops over quicker, so take advantage of that. So deep into that cone, I'm deep over here because I don't want to hit that, right? So I'm deep over here. I've got momentum coming in here now. But let's take a look at, remember I say, if you know where you want to go, that'll dictate where you need to be to do that, to set up for it, okay? So I know I'm going to be coming in here after I make my counterclockwise circle. So if I'm going to be coming in here, do I want to be over here having to set up this 90 right? Or would it be better if I was somewhere over here? Well, I would rather be somewhere over here, okay? So how am I going to get my bike so that it's closer to here? Well, once I come through here, I'm going to want to go deeper in here, kind of deeper more over in this area of the pattern. Could I cut it a little tighter over here? I could, but then again, that's going to place my bike somewhere over here. and I want to try to place it a little further. Again, every inch counts. You know what I'm talking about. So you want to move the bike over as much as you can. Now, benefits are technique based, so we're talking about two things with a motor pattern: bike placement, rider technique. Okay, so in this case we're talking about bike placement. I want to get this thing deep over here, as deep as I can get it over here. That's a bike placement issue. What I also want to do is, I've got early clutch throttle set up to throw the bike over. Once I come around this corner, I'm going to start adding a little power, kind of a clutch pop. You're going to hear the motor if you can. If you can't hear the motor, I'm essentially giving it a little bit more power. Why? Two reasons. It throws the bike over. I'm leaned over right coming through here. Now I have to be leaned over left coming through here. So I want to add power to help transition the bike. Also, I want power because it's going to speed my process up. And this is an area that's a little straightaway. Let's take every opportunity for every little short area on the course to get that bike to move further down track, okay? That's going to speed things up. Now, one of the things we talk about is rapid transitions. So once I get here, we're talking about rapid transitions. I've got that clutch pop, throwing the bike over. I'm using my feet, okay? I'm going to be pushing down with my feet. You're going to see my butt slide over a little bit. It's not really sliding over. The bike's falling over, and I'm essentially right in the middle, balance ball, okay? So I'm over here, I'm leaned over, the bike's dropped, full lock, and the closer I can get to this side so I can get a nice line through here, the better. Circles are going to dictate it, but the faster I can drop this bike over, the quicker I can get it into full lock, and the further this way I can get the bike without hitting any cones, the better I'll be coming through here. So, now I'm executing this. This is going to be a rapid transition area. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm coming full lock left, I'm going quick right, quick left, and out. So I need to be able to make some moves quickly in order to get through this clean and quick. So this is obviously, I don't have a tall cone here, but this is a danger cone here. So yes, I want to be in a position to get as far this way as I can. I still have to be cognizant of hitting anything on my way out. So what I'm really focused on in this spot is coming out deep. It's safe. Come out a little deep here so I don't hit this cone, and I'm careful over here. This isn't a big deal, really. It's this here. So come out wide, and we're going to make an S through here, but this is rapid transitions. I'm doing a clutch pop. I'm using my feet. I'm throwing the bike over pretty quickly. Now I'm coming wide here. Obviously, I don't want to hit this cone. So I'm making S's through here. I'm kind of road racing through here, and I want to go deep here. If I get greedy and I try to go fast, I'm going to hit this cone. Okay, so rapid transitions really is the key of this game right in this particular section. Now, as I'm coming out of here, I want you to think about, yes, it's a 90 left and then a quick jog out. But is there a way that I can take this whole section all through here and make this more or less a smooth movement and just shoot through here fast? Yes, there is a way to do that. The key to it is going to be how we set up coming through here. So again, I said rapid transitions. If I can get pretty deep here, the further I can kind of get over here, which helps me not hit this cone, and I'm doing rapid transitions, I'm effectively set and complete with this whole pattern by the time I'm here. Now I'm just doing a quick jog. I'm going to stay on my feet, stay using my feet to be fast, to throw that bike over quick. I don't want to hit this tall cone, and I don't want to hit this tall cone. So we can't just be lazy and ride straight through here. We're going to clip stuff. So there's still going to have to be an exaggeration of movement on the bike when I'm getting out of here. But it's important, use that feet, but it's also key to start thinking yourself through these sections, saying, how can I minimize the amount of movements that I make? I'm going to get on the bike for a second, but just to give you an example, and you'll start to see, and I'll talk about it, but when I'm coming in here on the brakes for the entry portion, this whole spot is really one fluid motion. I'm not doing much other than a nice smooth turn, a nice smooth arc all the way until I'm in the circle, okay? Pretty straightforward. So I'm going to hop on the bike, I'm going to ride you through this, and we'll try to pick up our pace a little bit and show you. I may or may not hit stuff. One other thing, talk about bike prep before you ride cones, at least for competition, if I'm riding a motor competition, my gun belt, I just have 3 bullets in my gun. I need to be able to do a failure drill. That's about all I'm worried about. My handcuffs are out. My magazines are out. My motorcycle's blinking low fuel. My saddlebags are empty. I don't have a shotgun on the bike. I have as little weight as I can. I believe the number is 7 pounds is a horsepower. So you do the math. Those things hold 5-6 gallons of gas. So that's a lot of horsepower. That's a lot more weight to throw around. So the less I have on my person, on my bike, the better off I am. So just think about that. When I'm training, yeah, there's almost a full tank right now. But let's kind of have that in your mind when you're riding. Less weight is better. All right, let's get going here. So here we are. Now, I'm going to walk you through the pattern nice and easy. We're going to go through it a little bit. As I mentioned before, we're going to really focus on lane position in this pattern. So from where I am, as I mentioned, I want to swing out here, set up my clutch throttle early, use my feet to get around here. I want to be careful coming through here, rapid transitions, swing deep here, and then try to use just a quick chicane to come out. So let me just do that one more time. I'm coming in a little faster on the brakes, going wide and deep, nice smooth arc, going deep in the circle to try to get a good position to do a rapid transition coming out, go deep here, and then just a quick chicane to come out. Okay? So balance ball, rapid transitions, right in here, early clutch throttle. I'm setting the clutch throttle up right about here, okay? Not over here. I could go through this whole section without even using the clutch. I could coast through here because I'm carrying momentum. But that's bad because I'm going to have to immediately make a quick transition change and make a U-turn over here. So that's a big mistake there. Also, if I have any issues or problems, the bike's not set up with power. Also, it's slower to get the bike to move around with no power. So deep here, I'm on my feet. You'll notice my butt will come off the seat. Same here. Okay, and so I'm this is exaggerated, but I'm effectively like this. I mean, I'm using my feet, and I'm trying to stay centered on the bike. Okay, so if you want to practice this. Well, no, this is just for illustration. Don't do this at home, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm using my feet to move that bike around, okay? So let's go back over here and blast through this. All right? We're going to pick up the pace a little bit and start kind of trying to connect this all together so you can see what that looks like. So I'm coming in at pace, setting up wide, clutch throttle set up, smooth, using my feet, nice and deep in the section. Balance ball, and then trying to get out of here in a quick sort of chicane, if that makes sense. All right, let's do that again. A little faster. I'm on the brakes, setting up the clutch throttle, dropping in, going a little deeper, getting lane position, and I'm out. So we're just going to do that a few times. Deep, early clutch throttle, deep there, deep in the section, balance ball, using my feet, using the clutch to do those little clutch pops, and then I'm out. Okay? We'll do that a few more times because it's so much fun. On the brakes. Now I'm on the brakes through that whole section. Deep here. And a quick chicane and I'm out. One more time. I'm just going to keep saying one more time. I'm having fun. Deep, early clutch throttle setup. Deep here. So let's talk about things that we could do wrong or things that we make this harder. So understand this. Technique is one thing, but bad bike placement requires incredible technique. I've put my motorcycle in motor patterns in the absolute wrong spot. And sometimes I was good enough to correct it, and other times I just wasn't. And it had so much more to do with, man, I just put myself in a tough position. It wasn't that I couldn't ride well or that I wasn't feeling it that day. I just kind of screwed up. Bad placement. So the further over here I go, the less likely I'm going to hit that and the more momentum I can carry, right? So if we take everything in the middle, this is harder. The slower I go, this is harder. Okay, well, I didn't make that. If I set up this circle, let me just drop back in. If I set up this circle too far to the left, so here I am, I'm coming in straight. Now I'm over here. Look at this. Now I'm right here. This is hard because now I got to really make an effort to get through here. And now I'm in a bad spot for this turn. So one mistake that I made back there that was bad is really screwing up the rest of my pattern. Okay, so I'm going to try, let me see if I can do this. I'm probably going to hit some stuff. I'm going to try to just take a bad lane position and see what it does. Okay, so I got through it, but let me tell you what, it was a lot of work. And I guarantee you the stopwatch will tell you it's slower than if I was to come in wide, early clutch throttled, nice and deep here, good placement here. You'll see those see how much smoother that was? That had less to do with my cool technique and more to do with bike placement. Going deep here, It's setting me up good here, makes these 90s not so hard deep here, makes coming out easier. So it's a combination of everything. Yes, it's bike placement, it's technique, it's all that. But next time you go out riding and you've warmed up properly, you've walked the patterns, you know where you're going, pay attention to where you're going to put that bike. So practice, practice, practice. And as I say in all these, have fun. Please have fun. Just have fun. It doesn't matter how good you are, how new you are. Just enjoy it. There's no place to get to. There's no, hey, there's no trophies at the end of it all where we say, hey, you're at a certain level of skill. Yes, you've made it. Life's going to be magically better for you. It's just the road goes on forever. Have a good time. Go on policemotortraining.com and you'll see some of these drills, balance ball, rapid transitions, covering the front brake, early clutch throttle setup, Ghost Rider. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on the email there. And also, if you have any videos of you riding, I'm happy to evaluate it. If you have a motor training unit, hit me up. The possibility of me coming out and working with you guys is also an option, as well as individuals, whether you're civilian or not. If you have a group of guys, we can come out and kind of go over some stuff. All right. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.